If your business feels stuck right now, not failing, not collapsing, not in crisis, just stuck. Revenue isn't crashing. Clients still exist. The team is functioning, but something feels heavier than it used to. Momentum has slowed. Decisions feel harder. Progress feels less visible. And no one really talks about this stage because it doesn't look dramatic. It just feels draining. Today, I want to explain the stage of business growth where this happens and why it's more predictable than you think. There is a stage in business that almost every founder hits. It's not startup. Startup is clear. You're trying to survive. You're building momentum. Every win feels big. It's not scaling. Scaling is also clear. You have systems, you have structure, you're optimizing. The stage I'm talking about sits between those two. You've outgrown survival, but you haven't built structure. And that's where businesses feel stuck. Not because nothing is happening, but because the way you used to grow no longer works. In early stages, effort works. You say yes to everything, make decisions quickly, adjust in real time, stay close to customers, operate mostly on instinct. And that works for a while because complexity is low. There aren't many layers, decision pathways, dependencies, internal bottlenecks. Your intuition is enough, but then something changes. Growth increases complexity quietly. More. Clients' communication exceptions, team members' variables. And what used to be manageable becomes layered. But here's the problem. Most founders keep using an early-stage operating model in a mid-stage business. You try to push harder, work longer, stay involved in everything, personally unblock every decision, and instead of growth accelerating, it stalls. Not because you're incapable, but because the system hasn't evolved. This is the stage no one talks about, because it doesn't feel dramatic enough to get attention. But it's one of the most critical transitions in business. This is the stage where revenue plateaus, growth slows, the founder becomes the bottleneck, decisions stack up, energy declines, and it feels confusing because nothing appears wrong, but something feels off. That off feeling is structural misalignment. Let's break this down analytically. Businesses feel stuck for 3 structural reasons. 1. Decision ownership is blurred. When it's unclear who decides, exceptions require escalation. Authority isn't explicit. Everything returns to the founder. You don't notice it at first, but slowly, you become the filter for everything. That slows growth, not visibly, but systemically. 2. Visibility is missing. Early on, you know everything. Later, you don't. But most founders don't replace intuition with visibility, so they feel disconnected. When you don't see where money slows, where decisions stall, where execution breaks, you feel stuck. Not because you are, but because you lack signal. 3. No operating rhythm exists. Growth requires rhythm. Weekly. Reviews priorities. Decision resets, closure systems. Without rhythm, urgency replaces structure, and urgency is exhausting. This stage attacks identity, because founders think, if I'm working this hard, why isn't it accelerating? It feels like a motivation problem, a discipline problem, a leadership flaw. It isn't. It's a design issue. Your business is behaving exactly as it was designed to behave. And if it was designed for survival, it will struggle with scale. Most people think plateau means the market stopped responding. Often that's false. Plateau usually means the internal structure can't support the next stage. Growth requires clear decision lanes, defined authority, operational cadence, closed loops. Without those, growth slows, even if demand exists. Let's talk about the quiet trap. You become the fixer, the approver, the final say, the escalation path, not because you want control, but because ambiguity pushes everything upward. And the more things that come upward, the slower everything moves. That's the stuck feeling. Not failure, compression. At this stage, more effort creates more pressure because effort increases. Volume, speed, decision load without structure to absorb it. And eventually you feel, I can't push this any harder. That's not weakness, that's misalignment. To move past this stage, 3 things must change. 1. Decision clarity. Who decides what? Under what conditions? Without escalation? Clarity reduces bottlenecks instantly. 2. Visibility systems. You need dashboards for cash timing, decision backlog, execution flow, capacity constraints, not complexity. Clarity. 3. Closure rhythm. Every week needs priority definition, decision resolution, work closure. Unfinished work is what creates mental weight. Closure creates momentum. Because it's not glamorous, it doesn't sell, it doesn't feel like hustle, hypergrowth, startup adrenaline. It feels quiet, heavy, and confusing, but it's normal and more predictable than most people realize. If your business feels stuck, that doesn't mean it's failing. You're incapable. The opportunity is gone. It likely means you've outgrown the way you used to operate, and structure hasn't caught up yet. That's not a crisis. That's evolution. Growth doesn't stop because the market disappears. It slows when structure lags behind complexity. And the longer that lag continues, the heavier everything feels. But once structure catches up, momentum returns. Not dramatically, but steadily. Ask yourself, where do decisions stack? Where does everything escalate? What feels unresolved weekly? Where do you lack visibility? These questions often reveal the structural gap. If this stage feels familiar, the first step isn't pushing harder. It's diagnosing where clarity is breaking down. That's exactly what the Business Health Review is designed to surface. Not to sell anything, but to show you where pressure originates. You'll find it in the description. There is a stage of business that feels stuck. Not because you stopped growing, but because your business is asking for a new operating model. Most founders try to push through it. Few redesign through it. And that redesign is what restores momentum. If this resonated, you're not alone. This stage is common. It's quiet. And it's fixable. And here's something even more important to understand. When a business feels stuck, most founders immediately look outward. They ask, is the market shifting? Are competitors doing something better? Do we need new offers? Do we need new marketing? But very often, the external environment hasn't changed enough to explain the slowdown. What has changed is internal complexity. Every new client, every new team member, every new service, every new exception adds invisible weight to the system. And if you don't intentionally redesign how decisions flow, how priorities are set, and how execution closes, the weight compounds. At first, you can carry it. Then you start feeling pressure. Then you start feeling stuck. And what feels like lost momentum is often just unprocessed complexity. Growth doesn't slow because you stopped trying. It slows because the operating model that created the first phase of success wasn't built for the second.